WDLC Country and Community. And today it's our chat with the commissioner. We do this on a weekly basis. We have it's a busy man making time for us. Thank you, Matt Osterberg, one of our Pike County Commissioners. Getting updated this week. We're finding out what's going on with Pike County, and you are the man. You're the one who keeps us connected. So thank you for your time this morning. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Michelle. It's always a pleasure to be on and explain to people what we're doing here in Pike County to make the lives of all of our residents better. You know, we try to do as much as we can for those who are most in need. Mm-hmm. And today's discussion is going to be a little bit about our veterans population in Pike County and what we have done in the last year to make sure that they're getting the benefits that they so duly are in need of and that they earned. You know, this was their job to protect all of us, and now it's our job in our county and the region to make sure that those men and women and their families are given whatever it is that they're able to receive from the federal government to make their lives better.
A while back, you and I spoke about what Josiah is doing as our Veterans Affairs Director, and that department has grown a little bit because of the need to and the attention to taking care of our veterans here in Pike County. Am I correct?
It has. You know, in the last year, we have relocated our Veterans Service Office to our Shahola facility, which is an area up on Route 6, about 8 miles west of Milford, on a building where the Planning Commission used to be, and it's where workforce development is. And that was part of the reason that we moved it there. Was it was a much larger space. It gave the veterans and their families an opportunity to have a much, a private space. Because a lot of times the things that our veterans are dealing with are very personal issues. You know, they've come back from some maybe horrific times overseas or whatever their role was, whether it was just recently or in the last 40 or 50 years. You know, we're still, many Vietnam veterans are still suffering in our community. And we felt it was important to move them into a larger space. There's a meeting room. There is there's private offices. There's an area where they can do outside events, which we did last year when we first opened it. We have picnics. So it's really a nice space for them. And I know many of them have commented about how impressed they are of what we've done. And, that leadership, though, while the county commissioners gives direction, the leadership comes from people like Josiah Schrader and his staff. That staff now has expanded from 2 years ago. It was a one-person show, Josiah. Right. We gave him another person, a VSO, which is called a Veteran Service Officer. And since this year, we've hired another because that's how busy they are. In dollars and cents, I'll just explain what's gone on up there. Mm-hmm. When Josiah first took over in 22, there was $7 million worth of benefits given to local veterans. And those benefits are medical benefits, tax credits, many other types of benefits that Josiah is able to identify that veterans are eligible for, whether it's the veteran, their surviving spouse, their families. But that number has greatly increased every year. It went from $7 million in 22 to $13 million in 24, and we are on a pace now to exceed $15 million. Wow. So these, and I just had a call the other day from a gentleman who I believe is a Vietnam veteran who thanked us profusely about how much work Josiah did. This process, when Josiah tells you, when he starts to work with a veteran, it can take up to 40 hours of work to just handle one claim for one veteran, because it is a lot of paperwork. So, this is what we wanted to do, and this is what we feel is important. We have a responsibility in this county and every county to make sure that these veterans are met, their needs are met. We also reached out and realized that, there's a way maybe for us to get the community to even help more for a specific cause, kind of like what we did with emergency services. So what we did is we created a fund through Greater Pike Community Foundation. And this fund is to benefit the veterans. It's called the Pike County Veteran Support Fund. These dollars that he uses is people can give to a nonprofit organization, Greater Pike, and then it's earmarked for the use at the Veteran Service Office. And this is to help offset other costs. Instead of just raising taxes, we felt like this is a cause that reaches into people's hearts. We're just looking to build this so that we can be sure that these services are met, and that we have enough funds in our coffers to continue the operation of it. There'll be a fundraising event in Milford on July 29th. Again, those dollars will be used to put into the foundation.
All well said, and what a wonderful opportunity for so many, not only for us as residents in the area to donate, because people want to help, Matt, and they don't know what to do, and they want to give their money locally. So encouraging them to do so for our veterans organization here in Pike. Is there a number available?
Well, if you call to the Pike County offices at 570-296 9826. They will direct you to the Veteran Service Office. The other thing that I think I should highlight, though, while we're talking about this, is how do you give towards the foundation, and that is it's all listed on our website. But it's a matter of mailing checks to the Greater Pike Community Foundation at P.O. Box 992 in Milford 18337, and just mark on the check that it is for the Pike County Veteran Service Fund. And they will see that money goes there.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Matt Osterberg, one of our Pike County Commissioners. It's our chat with the Commissioner, and we'll talk next week, and we'll get caught up.
Thank you, Michelle.
All right. And there he goes, Pike County Commissioner Matt Osterberg. Back with more on WDLC Country.